Three, two, one. Welcome back to Nerds of the Gym. I'm Marco. That's Brandon.
And I'm Brandon.
Damn. Actually, I wonder if you clapped if it would do clapping emojis.
I tried it. I tried when you did something earlier.
Oh, really?
I mean, last time on Nerds in the Gym, Marco and Brandon deleted some footage.
I accidentally muted myself for a pretty large portion of the podcast. It was...
Some would say it was the best podcast of all time because of that. Maybe there's an audience for Brandon's thoughts. A 1 hour podcast where Brandon talks about things that are bothering him.
My silence really just absolutely catapulted us.
Marco has really found his role as a producer and not an on-screen talent. Marco left Nerds in the Gym to become a radio producer, where they would not let him talk. He loves waking up early, and he loves traffic talk.
Oh, man, I love waking up early.
Seems like you don't have a problem with it.
I hate it.
Really?
Oh, I
used to get up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's because I had to be at the gym for 5:30, even though it's 6 minutes down the street.
Right, but that's why it's just like, so it's like you can't hate it that much if you're doing it for the love of the game.
No, I hate it. I hate it more now, too, because there's no, like, break period for me to take a nap.
Mm-hmm. I used to hate waking up early, and now it's just part of my life.
Yeah.
Now it's something I have to do, so I just do it.
And now it's also something where your body, right as soon as it hits 9, you're done.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. And if I know I'm up too long, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. That's why I was shocked about, like, your whole party a few months ago. Like, that went for a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every once in a while, you have to live your life.
Yeah.
Exactly. Twice a year.
Twice a year. And those other 3 vacation days you get, nothing.
I just have to be one of those crazy people that just starts waking up at 5 a.m., get all my stuff done, and then go about my day.
You know, it's insane. Like, people will go to bed at, like, fall asleep at 10, wake up at 5, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I'm in bed at 9 to get up for 6.
Yeah, I'm in bed by 9, asleep by 10. So.
And I still, like, I get up and I'm super tired.
I'm not gonna lie, Marco. Sometimes I'm asleep by 8:45 and I still sleep till 6, so it's not impossible.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm very much so a 10-hour sleep guy. I'm about, sleeping 10 hours, living 14. It's great.
Impressive. What we got for nerd news?
Matthew Lillard, who everybody knows as their favorite Shaggy in the live-action Scooby-Doo series made by James Gunn, he is set to return as Shaggy for a mystery Scooby-Doo project.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel like it's just going to be a cartoon, sadly.
Could be.
I really want them to make a third live action with them all older. It's somehow Scooby defied the laws of natural dog biology and lived that long.
And I think they start this movie with him in a beard, and then it's just one of those fake beards.
Like...
For Scooby.
Yeah. I don't know, it would be really nice to have the crew back.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think they found their life afterwards as well on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think those were like quintessential afternoon TV movies after they had their theatrical run.
Yeah. They have a pretty big audience, it seems like.
Yeah. So that's exciting, though.
I
wonder if he works with HBO, which is Warner Brothers, which does have the Scooby-Doo IP. So
yeah.
Rebuild our superhero universe and we'll give you Scooby-Doo back.
But the interesting about it too is, what was I gonna say? Like, he's done other cartoon projects for Scooby-Doo, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So
I like when the live action actors do that.
So, but that's what makes me think, like, is it really him doing, like, should I get my hopes up for another live action one?
Probably not. I mean, it's going to get canceled and then redone and then fan argue, then it'll get happen. And
Plus, if they were to do a third live action, do you think they need to get James Gunn back for it?
I think they do. I think he sets the tone in those movies. Like, it's a quintessential, like, those are actual James Gunn's movies.
Yeah. And
now, as an adult, if you go watch them.
And it's probably hard to get him back with what he's doing with DC.
You know what's crazy? Is DC just canceled their Superman TV show, which was on the WB. I didn't watch it. It was like
Superman or Supergirl or Woman or whatever.
Supergirl's been off the air for a long time.
Okay.
They had another one that was like a spin-off of Supergirl in that same universe with Superman and Lois. Okay. And they just canceled it, and the reason was so there was no confusion with the new Superman Return series they're doing.
You know, I did see that they were super worried about people getting confused, and that's what is so funny to me about all these superhero movies is they acknowledge that their audience doesn't really like complexity with how the stories are and with how the universes are, so they have to make it super simple so that people don't get confused.
It is so funny because, on the same hand, we're like, why don't we have 3 Spider-Man universes? So it's just like, well, don't do a Superman because people won't understand, but the same people are craving three Spider-Man movies.
And it's so bizarre to me. It's like, you listen to them talk about the comic books and everything, it's like, that is super complicated. But then they don't want it to be that complicated with the movies, but then they want weird complexities with the movies that are just like, well, that kind of contradicts what you're saying, but okay.
And it bothers me way too often as a grown man, but under that same Warner Brothers umbrella, that we're losing this John Cena Roadrunner cartoon movie because no one will pay for it. So instead of just paying less for it, they're just like, you know what? No, it doesn't exist. Yeah. This movie can't be that bad. It wouldn't. And again, it's not going to change my life, but it's got to be better than Space Jam 2. And you have the name John Cena connected to it, and then you're just going to scrap it?
You know,
it's madness.
I feel like I just saw something else about that recently.
I feel like this week they announced that it's like almost like 90-95% like shelved for life. Like they're just done.
I saw that, but I heard that internal reviews and stuff was actually pretty good. I thought I saw something about that. Maybe it was for something else.
Marco, at this point, I just need to go work for Warner Brothers, try and find the Batgirl movie, and then try and find and watch this John Cena movie.
My question is what do they have to lose releasing that?
Right. Are people going to turn on Bugs Bunny if it's not good? No. People are going to be like, oh, remember that movie that wasn't good?
Also, isn't Warner Brothers like a publishing studio? Why can't they just publish it themselves? Why do they need somebody to buy it to publish it? Are they afraid that they're going to lose the money on it?
So the thing is, they think if they market it, they're going to lose even more money. But just put it on HBO Max. It costs them nothing.
Just drop it, and you'll make the money.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, don't put it in theater. Just put it on Max. Pay your actors. Put it on Max. I don't know. It makes no sense.
What they should do is release it on Max, see the pull that it's getting. Maybe after 2 weeks, put it in theaters.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think it's weird. Also, Marco, where are the Muppets? Disney owns the Muppets. How come we're not getting a Muppets movie every year?
I'm shocked that they're not doing that, actually.
Yeah.
It is Disney we're talking about, and I don't know. I think they... no, it wasn't Disney, actually.
They did like a Muppets Halloween special 3 years ago, and that was about it. Bring on the Muppets.
I think their time has passed. Honestly, it seems like Disney has completely turned to Marvel and Star Wars as like their like kid-pleasing thing.
I feel like Disney just bought Muppets so HBO couldn't have it.
Probably that too, honestly. Imagine if they had Muppets and like the whole Looney Tunes universe.
But what's crazy is HBO bought the rights to Sesame Street and then gave a bunch of it back because they couldn't afford to keep it on the servers. Who is doing this?
See, this is the problem with streaming, though. Is there's going to be so many streaming things that people aren't going to buy every single streaming site. right?
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, all these other streaming things are going to not do well. We're going to get more cancellations than products being output, and eventually we're going to probably just get down to like 2 or 3 big streaming companies that own all these other streaming companies, and it's going to be under that one umbrella for those 3 things. And it's
I don't get it either.
like this, like literally the streaming wars that's happening right now is just going to be this battle that's going to go from we have 10 streaming sites down to 3, and it's like it's nonsense.
Well, Paramount's already talking about trying to find a merging partner.
Yeah, I know.
The only reason, like, a Paramount is the one I use the least. The only reason I have it is like it's connected in my phone bundle.
Yeah,
So it's just like I don't know how many people are using it. I like Peacock a lot better.
they'll probably merge with HBO if I had to guess.
Could be. But again, HBO, how often do you use HBO? You find one show, you watch it, and then you're done with it.
And that's why I think they'll come together, because I feel like they're both kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have, you have 2 shows that you watch them, cancel it, then come back.
What I will say, though, is HBO has done a good job of protecting their own IP.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like Sopranos has been done for like 20 years.
Yeah.
You can't buy the DVDs of The Sopranos for less than $60.
Yep.
So you're just like, I might as well just stream it. Well, you can't buy it for streaming for less than $200.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, okay, I'll just pay for HBO for 2 months, watch Sopranos, and see you in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's interesting. Curb Your Enthusiasm, same thing. Entourage. They did a good job of protecting their own IP, but now I feel like they don't really make too much anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
Because for a while you had Euphoria, then you had all your Game of Thrones stuff, then they were doing a lot of interesting things with stand-up, and then it's just gone.
Yeah.
If you're a stand-up comedian right now, what platform do you want besides Netflix? Like, Prime does okay. HBO, it's going to get buried.
You know what may be a good place for comedians if the company would agree to it? Apple TV.
I think they have a few.
Oh, they do? Then maybe not.
My thing is just like, it's all about marketing. It's just like, not everyone has an iPhone. And now that iPhone doesn't, I believe Apple TV used to come with the iPhone. Now that you have to pay for it separately.
So before they had their own TV shows, so what happens is you buy an iPhone or any Apple product, I think you get like 3 months free.
Oh, okay.
Then after that, you have to pay for the subscription. What it used to be is before Apple TV had like their own streaming stuff, like their own actually in-brand stuff like Shrinking, Ted Lasso, and everything. Apple TV kind of was free for some things, but mainly you had to rent or buy movies on it.
It's a very odd streaming service because it's like I never have problems with lagging. It never crashes. It looks amazing on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's another one like HBO Max. It's like I'll watch my show and then I don't go back. Like I don't want to watch that Godzilla show they have. But then it's just like I just never do. It's very weird that I just don't do it.
Yeah. Speaking of Apple TV though, guess what I saw the other day?
What's that?
I saw a
Harrison
video
Ford riding a bicycle
on the set of Shrinking season 2.
Yep.
Fire me up. I need it. I need them to
They have a release date yet?
No. They literally just started filming, but I need 3 seasons of that show with Harrison Ford in it before he either retires or passes away, sadly.
Passes away his character in the show.
That too. Because I think that's what they're leading up to.
Right. Could be. I think it's another one where it's just like it's a good show. I'm glad it exists, but there's not that like, hey, let's do this for 10 seasons. I think they're going to tell their story and shut it down.
Well, so they have the guy that wrote Scrubs on there. He's the main guy running it. But then they also have Brett Goldstein, who played Roy Kent in Ted Lasso, but he was also one of the main producers in Ted Lasso as well as the guy that did Scrubs. they were prominent figures in those first 2 seasons, but then season 3, I think Jason Sudeikis took over more. And I think their plan is to kind of have that same 3-season arc that was originally planned out for Ted Lasso. They're doing that with this show, and I think that's a great idea. I think if you have a story thought out from start to finish like that over the course of 3 seasons, do that. I'd rather have 3 really good seasons than them try to like scrap together some things for a 4th season and it kind of starts to fall apart.
Now that's the funny thing is because Ted Lasso isn't canceled.
No.
They haven't made a new one, so at any point they could just pull the trigger into a Ted Lasso movie if they wanted.
I think that's going to happen at some point. I think Ted Lasso will come back in some capacity. Because I really think it went more from what's the Scrubs guy's name?
I don't know off the top of my head.
The writer, and producer. So it was mainly his show, Brett Goldstein, and Ted Lasso, or Jason Sudeikis. But then over time, Jason Sudeikis kind of took it over and made it more his entire thing. Which, the character itself was Jason Sudeikis, but I think he took over the whole story control to the point where the guy that wrote Scrubs just really was not a part of it in the 3rd season at all.
So, it's possible.
Yeah.
How are we looking on time, my good sir?
We're 16 minutes in on this one. It's 11:10.
Okay, I got a few more minutes.
What time?
You want to do another 10 minutes? We'll do 2 short ones, and we'll try and piece together.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Going into Marvel stuff. So, this next Deadpool movie may not be the last time we see Hugh Jackman. He said...
Just when...
Oh, just what?
Oh, no, just when you thought he was out, they pull him right back in. I know you... Go ahead.
So he told Marvel he would return for Secret Wars, but only if he'll get to interact with Toby, and this is the next one that's very difficult. RDJ. Robert Downey Jr.
So, I mean... Can't they just set them up for lunch, and then... I mean, so... I guess he knows what he wants. I think part of the Tobey Maguire part is because they were doing those movies at the same time.
Yeah.
So that would be like the culmination of what they should have done 20 years ago.
Even then, if you really think about it, the first Iron Man came out a year after Spider-Man 3, and Hugh Jackman was still making Wolverine and X-Men movies up until 16 or 17.
Yeah, so I think that's part of it. I think that's where his mind is at, if I had to guess.
Yeah, no, and I think it would be a good idea, but again, in Secret Wars, there's going to be so many people, they're all going to get like 30 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's going to be like the 2-part Avenger movie.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 10 minutes, let's do this.
Yep. Chris Evans is in the news again. He says Marvel films are objectively phenomenal. He doesn't believe comic book films get enough credit. If it was easy, there'd be a lot more good ones. Not trying to throw shade.
Okay.
To be fair, there are a lot of good ones, but Marvel just had this recipe that worked essentially.
Right.
And I think the hard part is people have this idea of what a comic book movie should be like, and that is the Marvel outline, essentially. So when they go and watch something that doesn't really follow the Marvel outline, they're kind of like, well, that wasn't exciting. I think Marvel has kind of destroyed people's perception of what a comic book movie should be.
Yeah. I mean, since the genre didn't exist 30 years ago, it's like...
Yeah.
I don't think people make comic book movies. They try and make Marvel movies under different titles.
Yeah. Disney says your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series will have 10 episodes, each about 30 minutes long.
I think this is for younger kids, right?
Yeah, it's a cartoon too, but I think it is supposed to be about Tom Holland's Spider-Man, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's like a prequel to the trilogy.
Oh, okay.
And originally Tom Holland was supposed to voice, but now he's not.
So why bother?
Yeah.
And also, how hard it is to get him in the studio for a day.
Yeah.
Just pay him. Just pay the man.
But staying on the topic of Spider-Man, according to Google, they have somebody casted as Aunt May in Venom 3.
Yeah, because they can't get Peter Parker, but let's get someone called May.
Guess who the actor is?
Actress for Aunt May or actor for Aunt May?
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney.
No.
Zendaya.
No. You're never gonna
Is
get this.
Is it the Aunt May from Andrew Garfield series, Sally
Nope.
Field?
Want me to tell you?
Is it the woman from Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Norman Reedus.
So it's a man, Aunt May.
That's just what Google says.
Oh,
It would. I heard Andrew Garfield is supposedly in that movie.
we talked about it last week. Like, it makes sense to tie it somewhere, but
Yeah.
I feel like at this point with the Venom movies, you tie it to something that's safe,
Yeah.
which is those Amazing Spider-Man movies, because you can't tie it to these new one-off movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
do-
I would like to see his story continue though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would. But
Do you think that Venom gets an appearance in Secret Wars in some capacity? Because isn't that when the symbiote first shows up or something?
in the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it played a huge role. Would be Tom Holland getting the symbiote suit, but we'll see. I mean, I assume so because they already had him do that cameo at the end of one of the movies.
Yeah.
So I assume so. I think it's a safe bet that he'll be in it.
Yep. Chris Evans said that The Winter Soldier is his favorite Marvel movie that he was a part of.
It was a great movie. It was my favorite for a long time.
I think that's my favorite Captain America movie.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Captain America 3 against Tony.
I'm anti Civil War.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not.
in most cases, that's a good thing.
I'm not. Most cases, not when it comes to
Most
Marvel.
cases.
I did not like that movie too much, and also it's not a Captain America movie.
That's a fair criticism, but no, I like number 2. It's a great standalone movie. It's a spy thriller. It makes sense. It ties in Captain America 1. Yeah, no, it's a great movie.
Yeah. And also the way that they kind of paired up both Captain America and Black Widow in that movie, great. Against what's his name, Bucky Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all more human characters than other Marvel characters, so it worked out
Very
super
much so.
well. Yeah. And I feel like that's what Marvel needs to do more with their movies is take takes on different genres. Like you just said, like that was a spy thriller. They need to do more of that with other movies as opposed to I feel like in the past few years they've really been superhero movies.
Agreed. Because like Thor 3, they were like, okay, let's make a buddy road trip comedy.
Yeah.
They had a spy thriller, and then they go into I agree. They went too deep into the recipe.
Yeah.
But again, I have no interest in an MCU horror movie.
Yeah.
But like you hit me with a rom-com, boom, I'm in.
Thor: Love and Thunder, which maybe it wasn't the best attempt at one, but they did it.
It was another road trip comedy.
Yeah.
They just went to the well again, that's all. But I
Yeah.
liked it. I watched that one again.
Me too. All right, I guess it's 11:18. We'll hit one more thing. Community movie begin filming this year. Studio is specifically working around Donald Glover's schedule to ensure he is available for any start date. They're doing it
Awesome.
smart. They're making sure Donald's there.
They put the show beat up front.
Can we please get a Chevy Chase cameo just somehow?
I don't know, man. It seems like the cast he burnt too many bridges.
Everybody turned on him.
The only way they can put him in the movie is if they use old footage they didn't release and just put him in.
Which, that wouldn't go well. He would be following lawsuits left and right.
Right. I think he's also, I mean, they would pay him, but.
And then he would probably get on social media and say the worst things about them.
I think he's having health issues too, so I think that's a pretty safe no. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring him a Southwest Cowbell. We'll have him do some squats and carries and get him ready.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say Donald Glover probably said, I'm not doing it if he's there, so.
Well, didn't he used to make racist remarks to him?
All the time.
Which, I heard about that, and I'm like, it sounds like he lasted way longer than he should have.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
That's exciting. See the old gang back together.
Yep.
It's cool that we're living in this time that's happening.
Oh, I know.
And hopefully they don't release it on Yahoo, like Season 6 was.
Ooh, that's a good point. What streaming service will it come to? HBO, maybe?
So, I don't think HBO, but anyway, so it goes on Netflix, disappears, goes to Peacock, disappears, goes back to Netflix. So one of those two would probably be the favorite. I assume it was originally an NBC show, so NBC's got to have some sort of rights.
So that would be Peacock then, right?
Yes. But if they want to do it right, then you take it to Netflix and get the bigger numbers.
Yeah, because that's a good point. I don't know who owns it currently.
That's why I assume NBC... I don't think NBC sold any of their IP. I think they just rent it out. That's why you notice Brooklyn Nine-Nine is now on Netflix again.
Yeah.
And I just got done watching it on Peacock. So they bounce back and forth a lot.
Apparently it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Which I think that's more closely related to NBC as opposed to...
So that one, Hulu and Disney Plus are tied together.
Yeah.
But any new show, NBC puts on
Oh, Hulu. Looks like it's on Netflix as well.
So, yeah. So it sounds like it's all over the place. So they have options.
Yeah. But... It is 11:21. I assume you have to go.
I do. I appreciate the courtesy.
No problem.
You want to take us out?
We've been Nerds in the Gym. Hopefully this is a better audio-filled second attempt. I'm Marco.
I'm Brandon.
We'll see you next
time.
Peace out. Ooh.